How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And you know what time it is. It is time for the joke of the day. If you're new to this channel, we do this 5 days out of the work week. Maybe you had a long, maybe you had a stressful day, or maybe it was a market conditions while you came to watch this video, plus hear one of my corny jokes. Here it comes. How do you follow Will Smith in the snow? You follow the Fresh Prince. Not too bad, eh? So anyways, what we're going to be talking about today is OCGN. Many people are like, Dre, did you see it pull back inside the market? I'm like, of course, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. So before we get started, you know we have to go over the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you are a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to be going over is a technical analysis, taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know areas of support, we want to know where's there's a resistance, and where do we want to see OCGN finishing at in regards to Friday. And then secondly, we're going to be going on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information and as well as the institutional ownership. Yes, we have recent updates. I know I covered it yesterday, but hey, we have some new things to go over for today. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know where institutions getting involved in regards to large scale orders. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for OCGN. Let's see how it performed on the day. So we ended up closing at $7.08, being down 8.05%. On the low, it tested $7.06, and then on the high, testing $7.68. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, we ended up trading at 11.877 million shares. And as far as for the average volume over 10 trading days, it is around 18.465 million shares. So definitely below average. And it's part of the reasons why we ended up seeing some pressure on the OCGN stock. When we take a look at the RSI down below, you can see we're at right here at 47.13. So yes, we are in the oversold territory a bit, but we are fairly close to the middle. The chart that we're using is also the 1-year daily chart, just for your information. So you can see here we are below the 100-day, but we do have strength above the 200-day. And of course, we are now below the 21-day EMA. And you guys have talked about already, sorry, not you guys, but I've talked about that, hey, I love when OCGN is sitting above the 21-day EMA because then it starts looking bullish, right? We were looking forward to seeing that test, especially going to around $8. Can we look forward to actually seeing it tomorrow? Of course, this is going to be dependent on volume, and of course, going into a Friday, there could be a lot more selling pressure. We have traders who are going to be closing out their positions. So the great thing is we were able to actually close right at our $7 area. We already know we have a $7 area of support. So what we want to look forward to in the best case scenario going into Friday, it would be great to see if we can close at around $7.50. But if we do decide to pull back, I want to see this $7 area actually hold up. If it decides to give out, then as far as $6.75 is the next area that I want to see hold up for OCGN, only if we decide to pull back that further. So at least going into next week, if we have some buying pressure, we can go back to doing the retest back into the 7s and start pushing and making that move going into 8. So we're on Fintel. We're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and as well as the short interest information for OCGN. So as we scroll down on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So we can see here on July the 22nd, we have a filing from Fidelity NASDAQ Composite Index tracking stock that has 69,875 shares. So this is definitely something that was great to see, and of course this was a new position. So now when we take a look at the short interest information, we can see short volume ratio being at 27.29%. As we scroll down further, the short shares availability is at 300,000, and as far as for the short ball free rate is at 9.02%. And when we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we can see here as far as for the July 21st close being at 27.1%. 30.29, with the day before being at 30.25. So of course there continues to have short sellers who are vested in OCGN stock, and this is part of the reasons why we saw some pressure today. Short sellers thrive off of low volume. When there's low volume and there's not a lot of activity, it gives them more opportunities to push the price down. So I hope you guys are not too surprised about what you saw today, but of course if you've been in OCGN long enough, you're probably used to the volatility already. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for OCGN. So we could see here on the inflow we had 18, and on the outflow we had 24. We had 0 on the large for both, we had 12 on the medium, and we also had 6 on the small. As far as for the outflow side, we had 14 on the medium, and on the small we had 9. So you could see here as far as July the 22nd and as well as the 21st, we see 0 in regards to large scale orders, and we've already gone over the prior days as well. Another thing what I was talking about inside the technical analysis, we did have below average volume. And the matter of the fact is, since there's so much short interest in OCGN, this gives the opportunity for short sellers to take advantage. The more they put up those walls and so forth, people are going to start seeing the price, seeing how suppressed it is, and they're going to begin selling out. And I could see this continuing, especially into tomorrow. But for the most part, I want to see it hold up those levels like we talked about. So now let's jump into the final thoughts. So for my final thoughts for OCGN, I'm definitely looking forward to see how the stock performs going into tomorrow. We can look forward to seeing a slight pullback, but at the same time, if we end up getting a lot of volume and we have a lot of buying pressure, then of course we can force a short squeeze due to the potential that OCGN has. It is still well above 21%, and this is something that we have to take into consideration. And depending if we get a big time update or a catalyst comes through, then you already know how this stock can potentially move. Another thing that we have to realize as well, as far as shorts, yes, if we have lower volume than what we had for today, we can continue to see this price being driven down. But what I want to see from OCGN is being able to hold up the $7 level. We also do notice on Fintel, and we've covered this for the past 2 videos, we've seen institutions who have been loading up on OCGN shares. So this is why I say, that's why when it does dip and if it does decide to go below 7, these are opportunities worth considering. But of course, you want to make sure you do your homework and you do your due diligence. But the great thing is we see that institutions are purchasing shares, and we know institutions are focused on getting a return on their investment. They're not going to put their money in vehicles if they feel like they're not going to get any money back. So I hope you guys get value from this video. And in regards to what's going on, we see everything going on around the Delta variant, and of course the covaxin is effective against it, and it's part of the reasons is I feel like there's going to be some things coming up for OCGN stock, and I'm going to be patient as an investor, and I'm going to be looking forward to it. Hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.